Tonight on News 5, a major development at Belize Telemedia as the company meets with the Belize Communications Workers for Justice, opening the door to long-awaited talks for more than 175 former employees still fighting for severance. And in Independence, a parolee's expected return to semi-pro basketball is reigniting pain for the family of Kayla Burgess. Her loved ones are speaking out tonight. Plus, student pride on full display in the South. Our Culture Tuesday cameras take you inside Independence High as teens bring the energy. Also, new outrage in Port Loyola, where a condemned polyclinic has been stripped to its bones. We're asking, what's the Briseno administration doing about it? And the Public Service Union applauds government's new anti-harassment policy, but pushing back over being left out of consultations. All that and more, News 5 starts now.
Every connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
Welcome back. Days after chanting outside BTL's headquarters have finally led to a breakthrough. After a hard-fought court victory and a week of intense protest, former telecom workers say they're walking away from a key meeting today feeling something they haven't felt in a long time: relief. Members of the Belize Communication Workers for Justice met this afternoon with Labor Department officials and Belize Telemedia Limited to talk numbers, names, and the long overdue severance payments they've been fighting for. Their push gained new momentum after a landmark CCJ ruling confirmed that retirees are legally entitled to that money. And while the battle isn't over, today's discussions have given the group a renewed sense of hope. Right after the 2-hour sit-down, we caught up with the organizer, Emily Turner, to hear what comes next.
We did have a very good, fruitful meeting in terms of collaboration, in exchange of information. We have some information, they have some information that they will share with us, and so that we can look at some of that data that we have a gap with. The systems that we have digitalized since 2005 to 2025, that data is now in the systems. Those data can be validated, so that's not the challenge. So now we are just we're gonna have to go back and focus on how do we establish that data that we have that we have some gaps on. So now in terms of what we have accomplished today, we accomplished a lot in terms of we've arrived that BTL has agreed to pay the severance. We do have now. We are discussing the interest payment that would be done, and on both sides we have to take it back to our groups, and we will be discussing those figures. We are expecting something to come back to us from BTL by Thursday, and then we are supposed to take back something to our members over the weekend, and then we intend to meet next week. Our intention is to try to close this off in the next 2 weeks. I think for the most it will be about 2 weeks. That's one of the things that BTL came with, and we want to applaud them for that. They have included all the employees. The number they gave us is 564. Even people that are not included in our group that we're representing will be paid.
With severance talks finally moving in the right direction, you'd think the Belize Communication Workers for Justice might be ready to pack up the placards. Not quite. Today's meeting with the Department of Labor and BTL cleared one major hurdle, but it didn't quite quiet the bigger questions still hanging over the group. BCWJ members say they're still worried about how income tax deductions will affect those long-awaited severance payments. And the proposed consolidation of BTL and SpeedNet, that's another storm cloud they're watching closely. So is this the end of the demonstrations or just the end of the first round? We put that question directly to organizer Emily Turner.
There are other issues that you all were joining. Will this settlement quiet you all?
No. This is just okay. So we believe, and we have met as a group, that this workers' movement will continue. We do have other related to this. We do have the issue of the income tax, for example, that we have to deal with. But then the national issue of the acquisition is still something that we want to have our input in. We want to understand it. We want to be able to ask for the things that we need to see. We need, like other groups are saying, we need due diligence, proper due diligence. We need total transparency. We need to see these things. So, and we also, under this, we are forming a general workers union where we want to represent workers across Belize in different sectors. That's the intention of BCWJ. You may see that we may change the name, but that's the intention. We won't go away. Everybody's very much on board and interested in making that voice for the workers of Belize.
And while the severance talks and legal victories have dominated the headlines, there's another part of the story that's hit members of the Belize Communication Workers for Justice the hardest: the silence of the very union they expected to stand with them. BCWJ members say the Communications Workers Union, built on the struggles of former BTL employees, should have been right there beside them, fighting not only for today's workers, but for the ones who helped build the company in the first place. Instead, they say they were left to rally on their own, organizing protests, seeking legal clarity, and pushing for answers without the backing they thought they'd have. We asked organizer Emily Turner how that absence shaped their fight and what it says about representation for workers, past and present.
While today is a day of celebration, no doubt victorious, it must be bittersweet that you all went the distance without the union that you all built.
Oh yes, that's I said it to them and I'll say it again. It is a sad day. We came to this point and they'd never joined us in walking on that pavement and standing up for the rights of BTL employees, because we all consider ourselves BTL employees. It would not look good for them. It really would not look good for them. And we are there today, and we have to say or pat our backs and say we were able to accomplish this without them. I guess that's why BCW is known in its history to be strong, but it was because of us, and we can say that because now we have shown it. The BCW that Belize saw, that Belize knew, was us. It's not what is there today.
Turner says that silence from the union didn't weaken their resolve. It only pushed BCWJ to fight harder for the workers they believe deserve to be heard. There's more news after the break. Stay with us.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "And Isaac digged again the wells of water which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham, and he called their names after the names by which his father had called them." As a small boy, I lived in a sawmill town where most of the houses were exactly alike, and the streets were all dirt. At the intersection of most of the main streets stood an old wooden well with a bucket hanging over the pulley to draw the water with. The larger wells were square and about 3 feet wide. We would go to the well and draw water to drink, to cook with, and to wash our clothes with, and to bathe with. We used the well every day, but about once a year the well was shut down. The water level would drop, or the water would become contaminated. And when this happened, men would have to go and get on a rope and go down in the well with a bucket and dig it out and clean it out. You know, the Christian life is often like that. It has been amazing to me that through the years to see how some people's lives can be as refreshing as a drink of water from a cool, deep well, and yet all of a sudden seem to lose that quality and go dry. Sin can stop our wells up, and when it does, we need to clean them out. We do this by confessing our sins to Christ. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
The NEBL bounces off with a big opening weekend this Friday night at the Belize Civic Center. The Biting Tiger Sharks goes head-to-head with the upstart Cayo Western Ballers in our 7:30 p.m. opener. Then in Game 2 at 9 p.m., the big bad Belize City Defenders will try to defend the city as they come under fire from the Orange Walk Running Rebels. At the end of the first and third quarter, fans will get a chance to win cell phones, TVs, weekend stay, plus more. The first 300 kids get a free popcorn. Ozzy the Clown will be clowning around the debut of the NEBL Girls. And at halftime, the big $5,000 cash Ministry of Tourism, Youth, Sports and Diaspora Relations Shooting Challenge. The General Super G alongside Champion Squad out of Miami, No Fear DJs and more. On Saturday night, 8 p.m., we head to Belmopan at the UB Gymnasium as the Belmopan Trojans look to overthrow the new Warriors from the North, the Corozal Spartans. Giveaways all night, plus live performance by Vida, sponsored by the Government of Belize.
Marasmi, naidate ka na really need to get my ara out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group Plan.
Really? How that work?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Tonight, Belize's public transportation system is getting a long overdue overhaul. After years of crowded buses, aging fleets, and constant commuter frustration, the government of Belize is rolling out the National Bus Company, its boldest move yet to modernize how Belizeans travel. The plan brings private operators, government agencies, and international partners under one unified system, promising safer rides, upgraded terminals, and even a brand new fleet of electric buses. Paul Lopez takes a closer look at how this long-awaited transformation finally came together and what it could mean for the everyday commuter.
The National Bus Company has moved from idea to reality. But what exactly is it? Why is it needed? And how will it change the ride for everyday commuters? Public transportation started in the 1960s with trucks and just a few operators. By the 1980s, names like Novelos, Venus, Bates, Z-Line, and James dominated the highways. Today, Belize has 31 bus operators, yet despite the growth, the system itself has barely changed. That's the gap the National Bus Company aims to fix.
And certainly from May last year, when I took that first step at the initial meeting that was convened at the Ministry of Sustainable Development, there were doubts in that room as the minister outlined the plan to move towards a consolidated bus industry. Many of you took your mind back to previous administrations, echoing your dissatisfaction with what had transpired over the years. And around the room, one thing was certain, that you needed someone you can trust.
Along came the Minister of Transport, Dr. Louis Sabané, who presented a vision to stakeholders, a consolidated bus industry to be called the National Bus Company. The vision came with the promise of addressing perennial issues such as overcrowding, mechanical issues, dilapidated buses, and racing on the nation's highways.
It also includes modern terminals, and as a picture that you see there represents what the artists have as a modern bus terminal for Belize City, and this is the modern bus terminal for Orange Walk Town.
On Monday, the Ministry of Transport officially announced the launch of the National Bus Company, boasting extensive consultation with private and public sector stakeholders, as well as regional and international partners. In mid-2025, the ministry formed a committee comprised of these stakeholders to carry out the foundational work.
People are tired of riding preschool buses. Your feet don't fit. Simple. We're looking at reliability, comfort, benchmarks, standards, raising the bar, and as has been noted, enforcement.
The National Bus Company is valued at $49.7 million. Auditor Emil Pinello explained that auditors valued all bus terminals across the country at $22.7 million in total. That is equivalent to 45.76% in shares for the government of Belize. The 17 bus operators that have agreed to the consolidation are contributing $19.4 million, equivalent to 39.15% in shares. This is the equity structure. And with a revamped public transportation sector comes a plan to purchase a new fleet of electric buses to replace the diesel buses beginning in September.
So financing of the buses, fortunately, has not been an issue at all. We've had quite a bit of interest because what we're doing is very novel. It can become a model for other places to look at. That's not our driving motive. Our driving motive really is the welfare of our commuters and the welfare of operators, because all these wonderful operators here, 17 of them, and the wonderful ones that did not participate either, have been in a very tight industry. I'm glad to see that we were able to come together. And in the meeting this morning, one of the reliefs that was mentioned, we don't have to race against each other again, like how we're going to do it. You have equipment now, we'll be able to rationalize the runs and all these things.
Based on the manufacturer, an electric bus can cost anywhere between $325,000 to $400,000. The National Bus Company has also been established with a commitment to increase revenue for participating bus operators. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Belize's plan to overhaul its aging public transportation system accelerates with the launch of the National Bus Company, a unified network designed to replace decades of fragmented service and commuter frustration. As the new system takes shape, the Ministry of Transport strengthens its foundation by commissioning Courtney Coie LLP to draft the legal framework that will safeguard the public-private partnership and prevent a repeat of past failed consolidations.
So to make sure that there is not a repeat of what happened then, we have engaged Courtney and Coie law firm to develop the legal framework for us. One, they are working on the article and memorandum of association that is going to be used to incorporate the company. And I am happy to say to you that that company has been formed last week. So we now have a national bus company. The next thing we need to work on is a PPP agreement. The PPP agreement is going to be between the company and the government of Belize. It's going to spell out certain things that is going to work in favor of the company. And importantly, the National Bus Company Act. There is going to be legislative backative of the National Bus Company to make sure that it is protected. Now, again, this is important for us. All the operators who agreed to be a part of this venture were all allowed to sign an agreement that they are not going to compete with the National Bus Company.
Belize's push to modernize public transportation advances as the National Bus Company solidifies its legal footing, with the Ministry of Transport commissioning Courtney Coie LLP to craft the framework that will protect the new public-private partnership from the failures of past consolidations. As the company moves closer to full rollout, the ministry also works to ensure its long-term stability, preparing legislation that safeguards road service permits and anticipates future political shifts that could reshape the industry.
We learned from our past experience with what happened with Novelo and looking at what other jurisdictions do. So that is why we have the legislation that is being prepared that will speak very clearly to how the road service permits that are under the National Bus Company are to be preserved, and how future road service permits are to be issued out. Now, it is very possible that in the next 30 or 40 years, when there's another government, that then maybe you would have a setting, but your point is well taken, that then you'd have a setting that they could reconsider, because that's what the people do, right? In our democracy, you get representatives, and if they have enough to make changes to the laws, then that's what they would do. But not without costs. What the Novello Company did not have is legislation to protect them. And once there's the chance of a court ruling with costs, then those things have an impact on decision making. And secondly, we're betting that because of our extensive consultations across this country, that the ones who will protect, and because they understand how it works, will be the people.
Belize's transport overhaul aims to stay on track, with the ministry saying solid laws, not shifting politics, will keep the national bus company stable for years ahead. Tonight, we revisit a case that has haunted a family and a community for more than a decade. It's been 12 years since 24-year-old Kayla Burgess was found dead inside her vehicle in Bullet Tree Falls, a brutal killing that left loved ones shaken and searching for answers. Today, the man convicted of her murder is free. 31-year-old Vince Garbut, who was sentenced to 22 years behind bars, walked out on parole in 2025 and is now pursuing a career in basketball. So how did we get here, and how are those closest to Kayla coping all these years later? News 5's Brittany Gordon takes a closer look at the case that stunned the nation and the lasting impact it continues to have.
The National Elite Basketball League tips off its new season on Friday, and fans across the country are gearing up to pack the stands. But behind the excitement of the opening games, one storyline is already turning heads and reopening old wounds. Soon, one of the players taking the court could be a name Belizeans remember for a very different reason. Vinny Garbut, who was sentenced to 22 years for the manslaughter of 24-year-old Kayla Burgess, is now out on parole and trying out for the San Pedro Tiger Sharks. For Garbut, it's a shot at rebuilding his life, but for Kayla's family, his return to the spotlight is a painful reminder of a loss they're still struggling to heal from. We spoke with her brother, Carol Burgess, who says that even as the world moves on, their grief does not.
The process has been hard, you lose somebody very, very close to the family, which I think I feel like I lost my princess. I used to call her my princess. And the justice system, the guy get 22 years, something they explain to you after a certain amount of years, you're eligible to get parole. And besides that, we don't really follow up on it due to the fact that my mom says in her heart, she has to forgive this guy for her to move on. So mama just said, what, the smoke, we just left it and left it in the hands of God.
When he was arrested, Vince Garbut was just 21, a Galen University student and a rising basketball talent in his community. His future on the court came to an abrupt stop the moment he was charged. But even behind bars, Garbut never fully stepped away from the game. He kept playing while incarcerated, joining the Kobe Foundation's basketball team and staying connected to the sport that once defined him.
Based on information that we gathered, we located a fellow Vinny Garbut, 21 years old, and his residence was searched based on the strength of a warrant, whereby we found certain items of evidential value. So far, he is detained in custody.
Carol Burgess says that while the family is trying to heal, closure hasn't come easy. Now that Garbut is free, seeing him on the street reignites his pain. But, like his mother, he chooses to take the higher road.
You never get closure. The time where you spend, you never get kind of closure like that. And if you got man, if I do it 22 years, get 22 years, don't make you get no parole after no 10 or so. Give my years, make you do it 22 years. I don't believe in a parole system, in how you change or rehabilitate now. You know what I mean? He murdered my sister. He murdered my sister.
Kayla Burgess' family says they understand that prison is meant to reform and even to rehabilitate. But their concern is now public safety. They're left wondering whether 11 years is enough for a life that was taken.
Sometimes the system works, right? No, the thing is, what would I heard? You know, he can get parole and he come out and he hurt somebody else's family. You know, you watch if it's then you have to watch what two-sided way. Check it out. Think 7 years of rehabilitation or 10 years of rehabilitation for him. No, I don't think so. If you want to get 22 years, make you rehabilitate after 22 years.
We reached out to the San Pedro Tiger Sharks, however, they declined to comment at this time. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Belize is back on the world's corruption watch list, and this time officials say that's actually a good thing. After more than a decade off the map, the country has returned to Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index, putting Belize once again under the global microscope. Instead of shying away from that scrutiny, the government says it welcomes the outside review, calling it a chance to measure real progress and expose the blind spots that still need fixing. According to Good Governance Unit Director Cesar Ross, the ranking isn't about bragging rights. It's about using the data to speed up long-stalled reforms, from civil asset recovery laws to other anti-corruption tools already waiting to be fully enforced. Here's Cesar Ross.
We have been listed as of February 10th. The Transparency International put out its Corruption Perception Index, and in the index was Belize, being listed after many years of being absent. Since 2008, it has not been listed. The importance of the CPI, apart from doing a comparative with the rest of the countries in the world, is that it gives us sort of external diagnostics of how the rest of the world perceives the level of corruption, the level of good governance in the country of Belize. And so it helps guide what we need to do next. What are the things that we have been doing right and what we need to do next to ameliorate or to a large extent to get rid of corruption. There are specific indicators in the report as to what it is that they're looking for. And so what we need to do is move more fast in implementing legislations and policies, but also onboarding those that we already have, like the Civil Asset Recovery and Unexplained Wealth Act, which was one of the biggest achievements of our government in 2023.
Ross says the real work begins now as Belize uses that outside scrutiny to push long-delayed anti-corruption reforms across the finish line. As performers prep for a competition season, the La Ruta Maya crew is calling paddlers to sign up early and teasing a possible new finish line when the race returns March 6th to 9th. More on the River Showdown coming up, but first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Clean and maintain your yard the best way with Honda trimmers and lawn mowers. Honda Lawn and Garden Equipment. Available at Benquip. Equipment, parts, service.
Are you a forward-thinking farmer ready to adopt climate-smart practices? The future of farming is resilient, sustainable, and profitable, and we're here to help you achieve just that. Whether cultivating half an acre or 200 acres, DFC offers affordable financing options and a matching grant up to $12,000 for Window 1 and up to $60,000 for Window 2 to help make your farm climate smart, withstand unpredictable weather patterns, and adapt practices that enhance productivity and efficiency. This program is ideal for farmers and cooperatives. Women farmers are highly encouraged to take advantage. Join us in creating a resilient and sustainable agricultural future for Belize. Apply now and take the next step towards a stronger, greener tomorrow.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easy for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
In every school, there's always that one place where students learn more than what's in the textbooks, where they figure out who they are and who they want to be. At Independence High School, that place is the Drum Corps. More than 10 years strong, it's become a force of discipline, creativity, and pure school pride. Under the steady leadership of band director Arita Flores, these young musicians have turned practice into purpose and rhythm into a movement. And today, they're doing a lot more than performing for trophies. They're shaping the heartbeat of the entire campus. News 5's Paul Lopez has their story in this week's Culture Tuesday.
The Independence High School Drum Corps has been around for more than a decade, but it truly hit its stride when band director Areta Flores came on board. Under her leadership, the group stepped onto the national stage, winning gold at its first Belize Band Fest in 2023, taking silver in 2024, and reclaiming the top spot at home in 2025. With just a month to go before the 2026 competition, it's clear that discipline is far more than a pastime for these students. It's a part of who they are.
Well, I just love dancing overall, and I've always wanted to be a part of a band. And this band is just super special to me because we all are one, we're a family. And I love everyone here at the band. It makes my school life more enjoyable and better because some days I can be stressed about schoolwork and just think about, oh, I have practice today. And all that stress just leaves when I'm dancing.
I enjoy the discipline that always comes first. Our band coordinator pushes discipline and also the love. We are like a family.
The IHS Drum Corps is a family. More than 120 members move as one, blending crisp rhythms with eye-catching choreography to create a sound and style all their own. Band director Aretha Flores is the head of the family, and she runs a tight ship.
The first thing we do is we create our beats, and that's like the hardest, right? Because we don't duplicate, we don't do replicas. We try to be very creative, right? You have an entire world out there of music, and so I stress to my students, listen, I don't want to hear what I have heard before. Be more creative. So the hardest part for us, and that we start with, is creating our music. Afterwards, you know, it is so easy. Well, I have to have the theme, right? That's the hardest part for me. I have to know what will I portray out there. And as a teacher, I look at things and I always want things to be a lesson, right? Everything I do, I want it to be a lesson. And so I have to create my theme. Then I would share with the band leader, which who is my son.
Eiley Flores is a musical mastermind. With some help from his section members, he creates the music that the group dances to, and the school is proud of calling its unique sound.
So I really love to listen to music, so me and my mom would just play a random beat on the speaker, or if we hear songs at parties, my mom would be like, oh, Ali, I would send you this song, and I would go in my room, make the song, and then the next day at practice I would tell the band members, and then we will grab our instruments and start. To me, I love all the genres of music, the Spanish, soca, dancehall, punta.
So making a beat is very hard, but Missy always come up with ideas for us how we can make new beats.
Independence High School may have more than 900 students and over 50 teachers, but when it comes to the drum corps, everyone, especially the members, keeps things tightly under wraps. That means no phones during practice sessions, and a commitment to never sharing band choreography and music with outsiders.
One of the beauties about Independence High School Drum Corps is the diversity. Yeah. If you look at the members on the band, it's like Belize, right? It's Belize. You see Garifuna, you see the East Indian, you see the Mestizo, you see the Maya, you see the Mennonite. You know, there's a mixture here where the Creole, and so it's beautiful.
With Aretha Flores leading the drum corps, students get one constant reminder: school comes first. Their grades decide how much they get to perform. It's a sacrifice, but one the students are willing to make.
The discipline of the band increases my devotion towards my schoolwork because Miss A always puts the school first before the band.
I came to this band, I had no confidence, and now I have confidence in myself.
Creating bonds with a lot of other people, males, females, different cultures, you meet and you learn and you gain experience, and also you get discipline.
As the students get ready to step onto the national stage once again, they're carrying more than their instruments. They're carrying the values that define Independence High School. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
And while those young performers march toward competition season, organizers of the upcoming La Ruta Maya Belize River Challenge are charting potential route changes and calling on paddlers to register early, signaling another major community tradition gearing up for a dynamic year. The La Ruta Maya Belize River Challenge returns March 6th to 9th, and organizers are urging paddlers to sign up early as they prepare for this year's race. They're also inviting new and young competitors to jump in, and after nearly 3 decades, the committee is eyeing a possible change to the finish line, with Grand Resort now under consideration.
The routes will change, and we're not finalizing it as yet, but more than likely that it will change, but we still have the San Ignacio under the bridge Hawksworth to Banana Bank first day, then from Banana Bank to Doublehead Cabbage on the second day, and then on the third day we have the Doublehead Cabbage to Barrel Boom, and then barrel boom. We are considering that the race would end now at the Grand Resort, right there, the entrance of the Halova Creek. That in itself would be a change of its own, because traditionally we have ended this race in Belize City over the last 29 years that we have held the race.
What perhaps is the rationale or some of the consideration for the possible change?
The rationale is basically the security part of it becomes a challenge for us. It's the civic center is a bit too open, and we need to have a better control of what happens in that area. And there's no other, well, I shouldn't say no other, but we have tried to look at other options and up to date none available. So we have looked at the Grand Resort as a possibility going forward. No?
With excitement building, the committee is seriously eyeing a new finish line, saying the switch would give them tighter security and far better control over the crowds. A U.S. lawsuit is putting fresh international pressure on Belize as the families of 3 women who died from carbon monoxide poisoning in San Pedro push for accountability and name a local resort and architecture firm in their case. More on who could be held responsible next.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology. It's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures. Customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter. Smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights. Distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
A wrongful death lawsuit filed in the United States is now casting a global spotlight on a tragedy that unfolded in San Pedro last year, where 3 young women from Massachusetts lost their lives inside a suite at the Royal Cajal Beach Resort. What began with speculation about an overdose quickly shifted when investigators confirmed the women, Wafay Al-Arar, Iman Mala, and Qatar Nakad, were victims of carbon monoxide poisoning, allegedly caused by a buildup of the odorless gas in their room. Now their families are seeking answers, naming several defendants in a lawsuit, including the resort and an architecture firm linked to Minister Julio Espat's family. The lawsuit alleges that design or construction flaws may have contributed to the deadly leak, claims the firm strongly rejects. Responding to the litigation, Espat told News 5 that the matter is before the courts, offering condolences to the families while saying his company was wrongly named in what he considers an injustice. With the case moving forward overseas and questions about accountability still hovering, the incident continues to draw international attention, keeping the focus on how 3 vacationers' dream trip ended in tragedy and who ultimately will be held responsible. Tonight, frustration is growing in Port Loyola, where a once busy polyclinic that served thousands of Southside families now sits stripped to its shelves, doors, windows, even toilets gone after the facility was shut down last year for a dangerous mold infestation. Residents fear the abandoned building is being looted, but sources tell News 5 the dismantling is actually part of an approved demolition order issued after the clinic was condemned. While officials say rebuilding will take time because of tight budgets and the scale of the project, families who depended on that clinic are still traveling across the city for basic medical care, waiting for a timeline on when essential services will return to their neighborhood. A new national survey is exposing a reality many Belizeans don't talk about. UNICEF and the Statistical Institute of Belize set out to measure how women and children are really living, and the early findings are alarming. Across thousands of homes, children as young as 5 aren't just helping out. They're working enough hours to be counted as child laborers. For kids 5 to 11, even 1 hour of paid work a week or more than 21 hours of chores meets that mark. Some are even handling dangerous tasks or unsafe tools. Child labor in Belize isn't always in fields or factories. Sometimes it's happening quietly at home. SIB's Wendy Benavides says this data finally gives Belize a clear way to recognize and talk about the problem. She says she hopes that once more people will see the scale of it. It will push the country toward real action.
Awareness of it. I know some people, due to culture, they tend to expose their child. They wouldn't know that their child would have been exposed to these types of things because they bring it in their culture. Let's say like using a machete, and just using a machete to do yard cutting in their own yard. That would classify the child as a child laborer. So simple things like that. You might relate that to a household chore, which they could be doing, or they think that the child should be doing to help out in the house. But using these tools at such an early age would consider them and expose them to danger. Another one would be like using a motor vehicle at an early age as well. That exposes them to danger. Even though they can be working the fields at an early age, because the culture is embedded in them. But nonetheless, they are exposed to some of those risks. Again, the same, another high prevalence would be exposure to heat or humidity if they're out in the let's say cane fields, for instance. That is exposure to heat. We collect information on the type of activity that they did, so household chores, and we give them a list of what those chores were, and we also ask them about how many hours in that reference week they did that activity. So again, that's why the thresholds of hours apply to these different age groups. So for 5 to 11, as long as they perform at least 1 hour of work, they could be considered a child labor for economic activities. Then for children 12 to 14, as long as they did at least 14 hours of work, of economic activity, they would be classified as a child labor. For 15 to 17, the threshold is increased to 43 hours per week. Then there is the other category, the other classification for household chores. For any child 5 to 11, for any child 5 to 14, as long as they performed at least 21 hours of work of household chores, they would be classified as a child laborer.
But the concerns don't end there. The same survey also highlights troubling child mortality trends, showing that 14 out of every 1,000 Belizean children die before age 5, with prematurity driving most of those deaths. Health officials say premature births account for roughly 60% of under 5 fatalities. Together, the findings paint a stark picture of the challenges facing Belize's children.
The major cause of death, and this is worldwide, not only in Belize, is prematurity. And the prematurity means every baby that is born before 37 weeks of pregnancy. And this represents worldwide around 10%. We are between 8 and 9% of our total live births that are premature. Now, the problem with the prematurity is that many of the organs are immature at birth. We have the lungs, the brain, the liver that are not fully developed. And then this alone increases the risk for respiratory distress. It increases the risk for infections, and it increases the risk for neurological problems. The next factor is low birth weight. And low birth weight can be found in premature babies as well as babies at term. And this low birth weight increase the risk for complications. The percentage of under 5 deaths that we have recorded related to prematurity is 60%. So we know that the earlier the child is born, the higher the risk of losing those babies.
Belize may have earned its malaria-free status, but health officials are reminding everyone that the fight isn't over. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has confirmed 2 imported cases in Criquesarco village down in the Toledo district. Infections brought in from the outside of the country, but still close enough to raise concern. They say the cases underscore just how easily malaria can slip back in through travel, especially with our borders so close to areas where the disease is still active. Belize keeps its malaria-free designation, but the Chief Vector Control Officer says surveillance remains tight, and travelers heading to rural, forested, or border communities should take extra steps to protect themselves from mosquito bites.
What prompted this is whereby we're seeing a pattern in terms of persons traveling to certain endemic areas and returning to country positive. And what that does is it basically you have communities that are highly at risk for malaria reestablishment. And so the ministry saw fit to make the public aware of these 2 cases and also measures that could be put in place to prevent such occurrence, and also to highlight some of the signs and symptoms since it has been quite some time since we had reported local cases. Now, you are correct in terms of whenever you do have these imported cases, at times there also you may also have a case that may be directly linked to that imported case. Those tend to be classified as introduced, and it does not signify local reestablishment, and so it does not compromise the status that has been designated to the country as a malaria-free country. For that designation to be revoked by the World Health Organization, you would have to have local transmission for a period of 3 consecutive years, and so that of course we're not nowhere near that as yet. But what we are doing is just to ensure that we keep the public abreast. They know that the risks are still there, and know that the testing is available free of cost.
Health officials say the best defense now is awareness, urging anyone traveling to high-risk areas to protect themselves and get tested at the first sign of symptoms. Chinese New Year is in full swing here in Belize, with families celebrating the Year of the Horse in vibrant local style. And tonight, Lee Mark Chang shows us how he adds a Belizean twist to the tradition.
The joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, "And you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your hearts will rejoice." The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 6 p.m. as a Heavenly's Productions brings to you Jesus Festival. Featuring the hottest gospel artist coming out of the Bahamas, Sherwin Gardner.
So I say, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I worship you, O Jah. Tell them that the praises never stop. All I want to do is give you the highest praise.
Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel artists from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus Wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing, and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenlies for life, serving Jesus Christ.
And all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 501 from Capital City, Bethlehem. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City, Orange Walk, Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team, Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carvalho and his GCO group. Remember Jesus Festival. Taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors: Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, Plus TV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed.
GBM is turning the spotlight home. All Belizean, all day, every day. We're bringing to you more local and regional programs than ever before. Relive the classics you love. Plus, enjoy brand new stories that celebrates who we are, our people, our pride, our Belize. So whether you're at home, in the office, or on the go, keep GBM on, because now more than ever, Belize is on TV.
My data and I really need to get my ARA out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that works?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart Group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
The government of Belize is taking a firm step towards safer public workplaces, rolling out a new anti-sexual harassment policy aimed at giving employees clearer protections and stronger support. It's a move many say is long overdue, setting out exactly what harassment looks like, how to report it, and what consequences offenders will face. But even as the policy is being welcomed for its intent, the Public Service Union is voicing concern. PSU First Vice President Anissa Perdomo says the union was never consulted, warning that without proper engagement, even the best designed protections may fall short of truly safeguarding workers.
The PSU is 100% in support of this bill, the anti-sexual harassment policy. I believe the areas where the PSU has seen that where it's going wrong or has gone wrong is in that it wasn't consulted as it relates to the bill itself, and by extension to there are certain things whereby we keep extending to the government that we are the bargaining agent for the workers of the government of Belize. So by extension, we should be consulted. So, but I wanted to make it clear that the PSU is 100% fully supported of the bill. I believe it's a process and what went on. And I have to point out, some key areas as it relates to the Constitution, Section 106. Policies like these need to have consultation with who is the bargaining agent of the workers, which is PSU. So I wanted to highlight that as well as the Trade Unions Act. It states clearly that we are the bargaining agent, and when anything that affects the conditions of service and any disciplinary manner for public officers, the bargaining agent, which is PSU, should also have consultation.
What are some things that might be missing, given that they did not consult with you guys? Some areas where you could have builded upon?
First of all, how effective is the policy? That is something that we would have wanted to see. How clear is it? And the enforcement of the bill itself. Is it aligned with what's going on around in the world right now? The conditions. We are at the height for women's rights. So these are some of the things that we would have wanted to have a consultation on as it relates to the workers.
PUC says the policy will only truly work when workers, through their union, are part of the decision-making process. After years of promises and false starts, Belize City is finally getting a brand new fire station headquarters, or at least that's what the government now says. The announcement came during Friday's Long Service Firefighter Awards, where Public Utilities Minister Henry Charles Usher revealed that a state-of-the-art facility is being prepared on Calle Almar. It's set to replace the aging, heavily criticized station at Marion Jones, a building firefighters say has long been unfit for the job. But this isn't the first time a new station has been pledged. Exactly 1 year ago, Disaster Risk Management Minister Andre Perez said construction would begin on Chetomal Street by the end of 2025, after a previous plan for Cleghorn Street fell apart and neither of those projects ever materialized. Now, with headquarters shifting to a narrow, hard-to-navigate road, some are already questioning whether Calle Almar is really the right place to house that facility. Chinese New Year isn't just being celebrated half a world away. Here in Belize, the holiday is unfolding with its own vibrant flair. As the Year of the Horse begins, Belizean Chinese families are filling homes and businesses with the pop of firecrackers, bright red decorations, and the kind of energy that turns tradition into a true community event. And while the Lunar New Year spans more than 2 weeks of food, family, and fortune-seeking rituals, many Belizeans are already marking the day in personal ways. Among them is well-known businessman Lee Mark Chang, who invited us in to share how he's adding a Belizean touch to an age-old celebration.
I get to do the regular New Year's, which is January 1st, and I get to do the Chinese New Year's every year. So the more holiday, the better. Unfortunately, that I still have to work. So I have a lot of customers who needs their Chonsan fixed. So I have to come to work on those 2 holidays. But yesterday was the eve. Today is the actual New Year's. New Year's goes for 9 days, and it's a long weekend in the Asian countries. In Belize, it's we try to make the most of what we have. Like today, I'm going to have dinner with my parents, with my son and daughter, so we're going to have a family dinner. I believe that the Chinese Association have some celebrations set up for this weekend. Sunday will be the big function, so I'm also going to be there also, and we're catering for that function also. So it's going to be a nice buffet, 9-course meal, table setting a la carte. Happy New Year's!
Happy New Year's!
Yes,
as we know, you're a known face in Belize, known among a lot of people. So everyone that comes here is celebrating with you. What does it mean to you to be able to share this little bit of your culture with Belizeans here?
It's good when you have a lot of different culture traditions. You know more, you see more, you eat more for sure, and it's just nice being different, and one of the good things about Belize is that we are a melting pot, and so we continue to melt.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.